The real self contains everything that is changing, not otherwise. So we are going to the metaphor slowly in order to live into that state of mindfulness. 24 by 7. I was reading an article last week that says, it starts, when any article starts with the science says, science suggests, science proves. So if I remember, it says science proves. People become more attractive if they have beard. And we are carried away by it. But those who do not have a luxury to grow beard, what they will do? We have a lot of people. We have Jerry, we have Daddy, and we get carried away by it. So what is going to happen? People do not go deeply, do not contemplate, and they will start growing beard. Sam, you have a choice. Ashok has a choice, Rakesh, all these. That is where. Very good, Ashok. I'm seeing you. The very strong body. Yes. So, so understand this. We receive many thoughts from the society, from the friends, from the people, from the social media. We have to keep our mind clear. Mind clear. So now it says, what the science says, it says that the psychology proves that the people become more attractive if they have beard. If you do like this, I will be happy. If you follow me, I will be happy. If you meet my expectations, I will be happy. That is the core problem in the mind. But our master says that we are not worthy of suffering. We are a non-seeker if we do not contemplate and reflect on that we are not at all worthy of suffering. No, but you don't know how painful is my knees. You stop thinking. You do not know pain is different from suffering. See the point? That is how our masters communicate. Knowing how we are not worthy of suffering, suffering is gone, and then you take care of the pain. See that? To avoid the sense of dullness, to avoid, to reject the idea that we are worthy of suffering. If we accept it, we are not a seeker. Very clear. So the first point is the end of suffering. Second point is to discover peace and happiness in our life. So why I started today's journey with giving one example of an article. I have understood intellectually that I am not worthy of suffering and still I suffer. Why? Because of many doubts, confusion, and the dualities are still present in the mind. And that mind paralyzes the intellect. Where there is a problem, there is a solution. That's a pure logic. Where is the problem? Inside my head, there is a solution. So we have not to find the solution outside. That makes me a seeker. So, in that journey, the Eastern wisdom promises the freedom to a qualified person. Now, see that? I'm moving in a slowly and opening up these principles. So, any human being can be qualified. So, those people who leave after attending a session, they have a certain weakness inside. They think, I cannot become a seeker, so it's better to leave it and continue the journey with the suffering. I need not to increase my IQ. It's a common man's understanding. So, see that? So, when we say Eastern wisdom promises the freedom and end of suffering to a qualified seeker, it means no, we start thinking in a different way. No, anyone can be qualified. Today we are not, but tomorrow we are qualified. So you see that, I'm just explaining the model. And from the model, we will go to metaphor. Every time you read any text and you listen to any masters, that the goal of life is self fulfillment, contentment, total contentment. Contentment means permanent happiness. It does not stop at the end of suffering. This is what the knowledge shows. So you see that the masters' teachings are creating a model, a method, how to bring an end to the suffering. And they give us a simple example. You are hungry, you eat your food, you feel contentment. But you have to repeat it again. You are again hungry, you eat it. So again, there is a contentment. So that contentment is understood as a temporary. So you can use this phrase for anything. Buying a car, having a house, buying a t-shirt, etc. It's a long list, or eating the food. So we have to continue that process. So that is why it is temporary. There is no temporary contentment, Master says. So when we do not have it, we understand that. There is no temporary contentment. You are not excited. There is no hesitation in the mind. So that contentment is due to the delusion in the mind that definitely if I eat this food, if I buy this, if I have this, it does not mean that we don't do it. But understanding that particular model, you wake up in the morning, without a cup of coffee, I cannot do anything. So it's a temporary contentment. We are searching for permanent. Now, see the way the master approaches this mindfulness journey. If suffering is real, then no one can get rid of the suffering. No, I've been suffering for the last 10 years, 20 years, because you are crazy. You do not understand that. Stop this. Master says, no, stop this. No, no, but why should I stop when I'm suffering? Oh, so unhappiness is your nature? You can be happy being unhappy? So if unhappiness is my nature, I will be happy being unhappy. Are you getting it? Look at their logic and look at their understanding. Today I'm very happy because I'm sad. Means sadness is my nature. I cannot get out of my nature. But I'm searching peace and happiness. So therefore, suffering, sadness, grief cannot be my nature. Do you see that? Cannot be my nature. So if suffering is natural, then I cannot get rid of it. And I have more suffering, I'll be happy. And there are people. There are people around you in the family and in the world. Uh, the moment you say good morning and they start talking of their suffering, that is how the society hypnotizes us. So whatever master says here, how to make it clear. Master says that there is a conditional reality and there is an absolute reality. What is constantly changing creates a conditional reality, that is body, mind, thought, feeling, emotion, events, condition. Conditions outside, it's a conditional reality. The real self alone is the absolute reality. Just think like a mod. Forget about that I'm a spiritual guy, I'm doing mindfulness. No, clarity should be there. There is a conditional reality. Conditional reality means what? There is a cause and effect relationship. I am hungry, I eat food, and I get rid of that feeling of suffering of hunger, thirsty. I drink. Look at this. So, stress, pleasure, pain, other kinds of suffering are conditional reality. They come and go. Even grief, they come and go. We are hungry, they come and go. So our master says that why don't we find that absolute reality? We are two in one. One is conditional reality, and other is the absolute reality. One is the real I, the other is the false I. The false I constantly complains and hesitates. I am suffering because of you. You are responsible. I don't have money. I have money. You have money, you are suffering. You don't have money, you are suffering. Bill Gates is the greatest example. So, in order to expand that understanding, we need a model. And these masters have created hundreds of models to understand. Now, see another model so that it will be very clear. From model to metaphor, we can go it easily. Uh, is your life only the waking state or dream state plus dream state plus sleep state? Is my life only the sleeping state? No. Is my life only the dreaming state? No. Is my life only the waking state? No. all the three together. And we have been passing through these waking, dream, and the sleep state since we are born. Waking state changes, dream state changes. We have multiple different dreams. Sleep state also changes. Someday we wake up from the sleep and we say, I'm totally refreshed. No, I'm not feeling good. So it means there is someone which is absolute reality present in the waking state, dream state, sleep state. You see that model? I'm just going in a very simple way. So, what it means that there is something that transcends the waking state, sleep state, dream state. You know, it creates a doubt. Am I a waker? No. So doubt is resolved. Am I a dreamer alone? No. I'm also a waker and a dreamer and a sleeper. Now see how the model clears our doubt. Sleeper does not know the waking and the dream state. Think of it. Waker does not know the sleep and the dream state. Do you see that? But I am. Well, who is that I am is passing through all the three states. Very clear? Do you see that clear? So it means there is some I that is present in the waking state, that is present in the sleep state, that is present in the dream state. It is present in the waking state, but not a waker. It is present in the dream state, but not a dreamer. It is present in the sleep state, but not a sleep. Yeah, these are the models by which we can go deeper into our consciousness. No, I'm not convinced. Who says our mind? So the master already answered you are a non-seeker, but still we should no, I don't believe you. I'm not convinced. So are you convinced by your thoughts and feeling? Yes. So what is your thought? I'm suffering for the last 10 years. What purpose it will serve? Now the world is suffering. There are great philosophers, around us. We have to suffer. There is no alternative. So I stopped the inquiry. First thing. And then we never question our suffering. No, 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 no. Forget about this Eastern wisdom. It has nothing to do with it. I will continue to suffer. So unless we absorb and clear about these models by which we start thinking, the mind will be clear. And only a seeker can do it. But once we are a seeker on the path, we have the doubt still remains. First doubt, lack of preparedness. Lesser the qualification, lesser the understanding. Why it is less? I gave a very casual value to the freedom, to the permanent peace and happiness. Less value to permanent peace and happiness. That is the only reason I am a non-seeker. Second problem, Second problem is that I do not understand. The moment the teacher is speaking or you are studying a text, you do not understand because you feel, what do you feel? There is no right interpretation. I am not able to absorb. But why I am not able to absorb? Because the mind inside is restless. It is still running after lot of stuff during the listening. Third problem is that I'm not able to assimilate the knowledge rightly, with logic, with reasoning. I am not able to remove the logical doubts with the reasoning. So it happens, you are listening, teacher is speaking, and the mind says, okay, I have to drink a cup of tea just after the session. Your mind has already wandered. So there are other doubts also that we will. So what is the remedy? Find out. I gave you the three problems. What is the solution? I have to change my mind. I have to change my mind. The way it is running after the thoughts of the world. How? Through awareness, through awareness. You hear the cracking sound outside, it lives for a few seconds. You are aware of it, but your attention is on listening. Same way, that cracking sound in terms of the thoughts and feeling and the doubts continues in the mind. Let it continue. You are simply aware. You use the common sense. Yes, let me bring my mind again and again. That person becomes a perfect seeker. We understood the model, why we use the model. I told you before, if you I studied in physics, the nucleus is there at the center. You have electron, no, you have proton and you have neutron. And around that center, the electron is moving. So particular number of electrons are moving, it is iron. Another number of electron is moving, then it is gold, then it is platinum. What is the common point? They all are matter. That is how the model is used. Model and metaphor, they more or less they are similar. But one thing, model or metaphor are used to understand unfamiliar concepts. But if you see that, oh, this is the way the nucleus works, electron neutron at the center, and the electrons are all outside. It's the model. Inside the matter to make us understand the unfamiliar concepts. So once that is clear in our head, we come back to the metaphor of a painter. Painter, the first is the white cloth. That is original. We say, consider this white cloth is nothing but it is a pure consciousness. You starch it, that is our causal state. You sketch it, that is our subtle stage, and you create a painting, that is the world outside, the physical world. So the universe of name in the form of different people, of different living species, of different matter, that is the manifestation of the subtle states. The subtle stage is what? the mind, memory, intellect, and the ego. But there must be some cause of the mind, the way I behave and work and think. That is our causal state. And behind that causal state is the pure consciousness. This is how. So you keep that model in the mind, and as we progress, you will find out the deeper insight with that metaphor. So he created this metaphor to have a deeper insight, not by practice, just by the knowledge, just by understanding. So if we move from inside to outside, you see that when I say inside to outside, again it is a reference to a model because pure consciousness is present everywhere. Are you getting it? That level of awareness we need in order to move into the higher mindfulness state. So when I say innermost means that white cloth is naturally clean. It need not to be made clean. It is not artificial. It is natural. Nature made it. It is pure white in color. So you see that metaphor? And we are, with the use of the metaphor, we are trying to understand where lies located, what exactly is the real self. So then the second stage, it is starched to prepare for painting, or you can say how the consciousness begins its manifestation. Did you get it? So it begins manifestation. The master says it is starched. It is stiffened. Why it is stiffened? For the next step, to create a sketching, the outline, the subtle body. And once that sketching is done, outline is done, then we can paint. We can paint. So what we say in Eastern wisdom, the process of manifestation of the entire universe is fourfold. Fourfold. So once we understand, no, the God has created the universe. Or have you seen the God? Where is the doubt? Solve this doubt, and we will solve this doubt. So if there is a creation, if we use the word creation, the creation, it means there must be a creator. So at present we are using, it is all a manifestation. You are angry inside, the anger manifests outside. You are happy inside, happiness manifests outside. So we use the word manifestation. Now that example of a clay pot. Clay pot is a manifestation of a clay. Do you see that? Clearly. Clay bar is a manifestation of nothing but the clay. And if we claim that we all are different, appears different clay pots, manifestation of the same consciousness. Some of we, some of us are maybe extremely beautiful outside, but we all are manifestation of the same one consciousness. Car is a manifestation of matter. Smartphone is a manifestation of. Now I'm resolving your doubt, whatever the doubt that is coming to your mind. No, but the smartphone is different from the car, yes, but they both are manifestation of the monitor, house. Can you see that? Can I see that through the metaphor? Can I see the reality? Your body, my body, manifestation of the same matter. See that. So I'm leaving you to listen to it, contemplate again and again, and answer one question to your mind. What is that question? That are you clear that if I take an example, we are all clay parts coming from the clay, right? Huh? But then who is an individual? You say I'm an individual. I say I'm an individual. Where lies the individual in this world? Aren't we all one? And if yes, then how? Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. For the sake of understanding, we are is closing the eyes is a model? Yes. The time comes when you need not to close your eyes. Let the time come. My master used to joke around that in order to know the entire world, we have to keep all the five senses active. And to know ourselves, we have to say goodbye to these five sense organs. What an amazing understanding. The eyes are closed. Am I aware? Yes. So, because we have been doing the practice again and again, you see that slowly we become a seeker, and the mind reminds you that, am I comfortable? So, let us become aware whether we are physically settled or not. Settled means contentment, here and now. Understand that point. So, from one moment of being settled extends to the next moment. How? Naturally. But how? Naturally. No, no, no. What is naturally? Real self is my nature. It is made up of the permanent peace. It never happens because of the mind. So mind is not making an effort. I believe you are getting it. That is the beauty of the journey of the Eastern wisdom. Knowledge. Knowledge is awareness. And at present, awareness, knowledge, and experience. Take it as synonyms. I may use differently. So you are aware of the body. I used to say you are looking at the body. That means knowledge. That also means an experience. And in that awareness, we have a knowledge that body is comfortable. Comfortable means I'm settled physically. Why I'm not settled physically? Because of the mind. Mind is either restless. Why it is restless? Look at the thought, feeling images. Why I say that be carefree, you should understand clearly. That restless state of the mind means that I have yet to find out permanent peace and happiness. So you have that understanding? Yes. So restless means my mind wants to search peace and happiness outside in the world that I covered in our discussion. What was that discussion? I'm hungry. I eat food. Mind has created an impression that the food removes the suffering of an hunger. And that is a conditional reality. Because of the conditional reality, these thoughts keeps on coming. They will continue to come. After all, mind basic need is to survive physically, mentally. Oh, that is why we get the thoughts? Yes. Are we not surviving here and now? Yes. So should I chase the thoughts that enters into the mind? No. We're going to a step further. So let me go back and make you aware. We are settled physically means we are comfortable. Becoming comfortable is a conditional reality. Always comfortable. So in a practice, I said, look at the neck joint. Be there. You see that, Be there. I modulated my voice so that your mind becomes more attentive. Experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And one day I said, look inside. What is after that? After that, that after that you can say deeper based on the model. We say we are physically settled and comfortable. Same way, we said we are carefree. I just explained. Mind, you cannot find permanent peace and happiness how much you run after the objects of the world. You are aware, you know it, and your experience is being carefree. How come? Mind you run after even for 50 births in the world outside on the objects and the people, you will never find out the permanent peace and happiness. I have that understanding inside the intellect. No, no, but still the thoughts are coming. Let it come and go. There comes, let it come and go. When you have that understanding. So we all teachers use the same phrase. But do we have a clear understanding? Oh, so mind is running outside the word. That is why we have a thought. Thought contains I am plus object. Without object, I cannot have a thought. Do you live in that understanding? See that? Do you live in that understanding? Understanding? Awareness. What is awareness? Knowledge. Do you need to do anything? No. No, no, I'm understanding. Now you are aware. Not only you are understanding, I told you awareness, knowledge, and experience. Just take it in this session as synonyms. You see that the language, both in the science and the Eastern wisdom, we both use different models to understand the intricate, complex, subtle issues. That is how the knowledge is received by the mind. Here, listening means you are aware. Listening means you are receiving the knowledge. Receiving the knowledge is experience. I'm using another metaphor, and you need to be aware, and then we can observe, we can recognize what is that mindfulness state. You knock the door, and I open the door. You enter into the house, and your all five sense organs are active. It triggers the past impression in the mind. Past impression says, this type of the house, I like it. Mind says, it's a beautiful house. I meet you. All the five sense organs are active. Then it triggers the past impression. This frame of the body, these nose, this color, this height. My mind has a memory. You see that? The subtle state. That triggers the impression. And then the mind says, you are handsome, you are beautiful. This model, I just created, and that model will help you to understand that metaphor. Making it simple. Entry, first point. Impressions inside the mind, second. Expression, interpretation is the third. And they all have to do with the mind, not with the real self. It is happening in the field of awareness. I believe you all are getting it. Not very difficult. Without entry, this mind cannot have any thought. First thing is the entry. Second thing is the trigger in the subtle body, the third layer of the metaphor. We are not going from where it comes, that we will take up later. So, entry, impression, interpretation, or expression. Always use that awareness. Entry, impression, expression. That expression is a thought and a feeling, and a good and bad feeling, etc., etc. Give an example that you knock the door, entry. Now you have entered. Subtle body has a trigger. Why? It contains the impressions. So that impression looks at the house. That impression looks at the universe, becomes exclusive, and then it expresses the house is good, the person is good, or crazy, or Any thought enters into your mind. It made an entry. Become aware of an object in that thought. I am happy. Happy is object. I'm stressed. Stressed is not. I love this car. Car is. When we follow this model, mind is not going anywhere. That object, that feeling, that experience is a result of the trigger coming from the subtle. Otherwise, how can you know that this is stress and this is suffering and this is pain? You are already in the extraordinary level of awareness. Without an entry in the mind, there is no expression triggered by the impressions present already in the subtle. It simply manifests based on the level of our seeking. So once that is clear, we see all these thought, feeling, and experiences are not my personal individual experiences. They are simply a manifestation from something deeper. Or they are manifestation. Clay pot is a manifestation. So where is the clay pot? It is all clay. Can you become aware? When the mind follows awareness, knowledge, and experience, and this model, no thought, no feeling, no object can disturb you. Why? They are not meant to disturb us. No, 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 I get carried away. Why you get carried away? They are manifestation. No, no, but I feel pain and suffering. Pain is an object. Suffering is also an object. You see, entry is separate from the trigger. Trigger is separate from the expression. Then you see all the three are different. You are free. Am I free? Yes. In this metaphor, then only we see the white cloth. And on that white cloth, everything is bubbling out, manifestation. This is what. And you are making it possible. If I say I'm settled physically, I'm comfortable, that being comfortable is awareness, knowledge, and experience. Then I explain being carefree is also settled. One part of the mind is perfectly settled in being carefree. And then I use this model entry, impression, interpretation, or expression, whatever you want to understand. So we are aware of the entry, impression that triggers, and the expression that is the result, the thought. That thought covers and veils, clay is hidden in the clay pot. Consciousness is hidden in the thought that enters into the mind, that feeling, that suffering, that pain, that pleasure. When we use this model, we don't find an individual, false I. False I is created by a constant ripples of these thoughts. One thought says, this is I am. And the other thought says, object. I know and I can understand. Your mind will say, how long? It is still running. How long? What do you mean? So that how long is a trigger coming from the subtle body. We are entering into the mindfulness. It says how long? Yes, but mind may also say, let me remain as I am. Both possibilities are there, but both are the thoughts. I have to do nothing with it. They are the product of entry. After that, oh, so there is no individual. And that state gives us an experience of the infinity that I'm limitless. Clay enters into the mind, impression already present conceives a cup or a pot. Expression is a clay pot. Again, I'm using the same model. Model gives me an ability to be into that state. What is that state? It is the state of mindfulness. For the sake of awareness, knowledge, and experience, I'm repeating. You're physically settled, comfortable. You, where is that you? Awareness, knowledge, and experience. You in a clay pot. You, clay in a clay pot. Oh, you're settled in being carefree. And you see the manifestation in the mind, one thought or other thought, no thought. That is also a manifestation. Very clear. We are not doing anything. So doing nothing means that I do not get carried away by any trigger in the mind. Triggers are there, thoughts are there, feeling is there, experience is there, everything is there. Not because of the past impression, it's there. But now we use the word but, if, whether, there, this, that, they all point out to a model. Well, we are using the model, so not a big deal. We follow the science if we want to say that. Use Om. When I say Om Shanti, 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 even that mantra, you use it a model. Om, model, real self, the very first white cloth. Shanti, 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 the rest three. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Model. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. On a given day, when I chant Shanti, 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 your mind has already gone deeper. It uses this model, and because of this, you experience as if I am creating an effect on your body and mind. Yes, because I'm chanting. No, because your mind has touched very deep inside. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Take your time, lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Bring the hands down. Now, when I'm doing everything, then why should I pay you? You're right. You're right. Why should you pay me? How are you, Stephen? How are
Good, good. A nice non-practice practice. Um, I was very settled inside, very quiet, calm, peaceful.
Ah,
Thank you.
beautiful, beautiful. How are you, David and Jerry?
Yeah, very calm, very peaceful. I found that time when I would go really deep, my body temperature would rise, and I had a mosquito fly into my ear, so I had to slap it. But I was able to go right back into my meditation. Um, so it was very good, very peaceful. Thank you.
Very good. Wonderful. That is what it should be. How are you, Jerry?
Thank you, sir. Good. Yeah, it was very nice. And just listening to your words, it was quiet. I like the message or the model, and I think the message and the model came back to me at the end during the Om Shanti Shanti, because as they're doing that mantra, the first Shanti is, I kind of think about removing that ignorance, any doubt, that veil, And then the second one, just really knowing, then with the mind and the intellect. And then the third with the body and the external.
Universe.
Yeah.
You see that we should use these models and metaphor with reference to the real self. And once we use it, you will see the change. How are you, Rakesh? Where is Terry? My friend, all are my friends, but just use it.
Thank you, sir. So it was very peaceful and very deep within. I remained throughout.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. Terry, you can show me your videos. In the meantime, we'll go to Brandy.
Morning. I realized during the meditation today that for quite a while now, my external has been pretty uncomfortable, and I keep trying to go somewhere else to find comfort, and my reliance on that's the problem. So it was my meditation was not, what it sometimes can be, but I think that realization was really valuable. So I was able to kind of play with, moving my mind away from seeking that external reliance or comfort to just being.
Yes. Brandy, you expressed it rightly. Let me connect it to the last model that I used: entry, impression, and interpretation. I don't see them separately. The false I is there. That false I says I'm not feeling comfortable outside because that I is already there, but it is false. It is not there. It comes with entry. What did I say? Entry, impression, and expression or interpretation. Clay pot, manifestation. It is only an expression. You see that. Otherwise, it is all clay. If the clay pot says, I am clay pot, clay says, come on, I know. I know. That individuality, that I-ness, I am smart. Really? Are you smart? Yes, I'm smart. But I do not exist. How you can be smart? Do you see that? So it brings a sense of humility in us. We did a longer practice today. How are you, Sam?
Good. Yeah, it felt like we were there for a while. And the model of being able to step back behind the mind is very powerful and helpful.
Yeah. No knowledge can be expressed without a model, whether it is science or Eastern West. We have a different model. They have a different model. Because this mind or the intellect cannot understand the knowledge. You see, you use the word satellite, plane, bird. Instantly, the mind understands through that model. And that is why we are using these models to go deeper for our awakening. So, how are you, Ashok? Oh, you changed your shirt?
Namaste, sir.
Namaste. Oh, that was quite a Deeper meditation, I think,
Deeper meditation.
during the practice, you changed your, what we see, vest to t-shirt. Oh, very good. I never realized that. You see that I was so much ignorant.
अभी कभी कर लिया सर आपने जैसे बोला तो
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा
सेम टाइम इमीडिएट कर लिया था ठीक है सर क्वाइट एंड पीसफुल
Yeah, no worries, we can wear anything. So is Terry available? If not, then we can. You see that is what happens. We had a longer session today, and it's good. I'm happy. Are you not happy?
yes,
Not
we are
doing
happy.
it. We are in that state.
We are happy.
So you see that a seeker is now never frustrated. That is how the Brandy explains that, oh yes, I have a realization. So that attitude is required.